In today's episode, we're talking adult-only Disney trips.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
You are listening to the Main Street Magic Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Stein and John Marone.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I am joined by my good friend, John Marone.
Good afternoon.
And today we are also joined by two very special guests, my wife, Rhonda.
Hi, guys.
And John's wife, Michelle.
Hey there.
So in today's episode, we're going to have a roundtable discussion as we talk about our ultimate adults-only Disney trip. Please check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at mainstmagic. So we've been talking about this episode for a little while, trying to get schedules to align as we had some sickness, some flu run through all of our families. So we're sitting outside of John and Michelle's house by their outdoor kitchen and bar by the pool because it's a beautiful Florida day, and we just want to discuss why you would have an adults-only trip to Disney. Leave the kids at home, find somebody to watch them, and what types of things would you do? Where would you stay? So I wanted to start off with when would be the best time that you would want probably an adults-only trip, and we'll go ahead and just kind of go around the table, and we'll start over there with John. When would you go, and kind of why? Like, what time of year and why?
Well, I think the biggest thing is if you're going without children, if you have that flexibility to be able to go when the kids are in school, at least the crowds are going to be less.
Yeah.
So that's number one. But if I have to pick a season, number one is going to be fall because food and wine.
Yep.
So you'd be able to do Epcot, do food and wine for there. Second, you had a little bit in the winter right after that. I think Christmas, just because it's a little bit more of a magical time with everything decorated. And then if you're able to do even, right after the New Year, you get January, February, March, where at least the temperatures could be anywhere from cold to mild. So like anything, I think you stay away from June, July, August if you're doing adults only, because obviously that's when the crowds are there, the heats are there, and everybody was there with their kids as well. So That's kind of what I would look at.
So does the pool play into factor at all?
Sure. Yeah, I think you have a little bit more time because usually with the adults only, I don't know, we're probably not going to, I know Michelle and I, we're probably not going to go ride to ride. We'll do a couple things and probably spend more time at the pool, me having a little black cherry lemonade.
Of course.
You looking for a Schaffenhofer on that. So, the pool would definitely play into it. But again, as long as it's not, 40, 50 degrees out when you get out because the pool's heated.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Come during the winter, the pool's going to be heated. During the summer, it's going to be fine, at least during the other parts of the season. So, place, I think the place you stay probably factors more into it than, if you're looking at it for a pool location.
Yeah.
And maybe more of a hot tub instead of a pool.
Yeah, because if you're staying at a moderate or deluxe, you're getting a hot tub.
True.
So that could play in. That's a little adults only, I guess.
Until the kids come and sit in there.
Yeah,
That's true.
That is the absolute worst.
Yeah.
So, Michelle, what time of year are you going?
I just want to say that after the flu hitting our house last week and what you guys endured, the week before?
Yep.
That the time is now to have an
Yes,
Yeah.
it really
an
is.
adults-only Disney trip after the past couple
We should
weeks.
have should have gone down to Disney this weekend and just done the adults only
Yes.
trip and recorded from there. But
I mean, I know for the past year or two, it seems like the crowds, no matter what time of year you go, you're going to have crowds.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like it used to be, but I know for a short period of time, we would go around January, and that's when I really like to go. And it was after the holidays. The people were less, and we could go when the crowds weren't as bad. But, that also works with if you have a babysitter and have somebody who can help care for the kids.
of course, yeah.
But that used to be my favorite. I think now it just, anytime, is crazy. So
They're filling all
Right.
of the non-crazy times. And what we just experienced, of course, when we were just there, John was down there a bit, was the Irma, the Hurricane Irma. I mean, we saw how crowded it was based on everybody that had their trips canceled, and the Brazilian groups were in full force. Like, they were everywhere. So, yeah, you're right. You can't really base it on crowds anymore. But, so how about you, Rhonda? What time of year are you thinking of going, and why would you specifically pick that?
Well, we always go around our anniversary in April, so I guess that. But yeah, if I could totally pick, I probably would be like John and Michelle, like sometime around, Christmas, after Christmas, January. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I originally was going to go with during Food and Wine, but with how crazy that was last year and what we just experienced with Festival of the Arts, which was not too bad. Like for me, I'm thinking either Festival of the Arts time or Flower and Garden. And maybe even during Flower and Garden, you get a little bit of the warmer temps. You just don't know what you're going to get during Festival of the Arts. If you're talking January, February, it could be a high of 45 or it could be a high of 85. Right. So yeah, for me, I think Flower and I like how less busy these newer festivals are at the time. Now again, like you were just saying, Michelle, they're all gonna ramp up and be crazy. Okay, so we talked about when we would go. Where would you pick to stay? What do you think is the perfect adults only hotel, John?
Well, to me, you stay away from the values, and if you can do a deluxe, then any of the deluxe resorts are going to be, to me, the best place to stay. I mean, pick whatever one.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to do the monorail loop, I mean, obviously Floridian first, and then from there maybe Contemporary or Polynesian. Outside of that, Wilderness Lodge, got Animal Kingdom. So I think you stay within the deluxe. I think if you go beyond that, probably the next best place is going to be Boardwalk, just because there's so much more nighttime entertainment that would be adults only. So, you got Yacht Beach, obviously Boardwalk, but don't, for those Marriott or Starwood members, don't miss out on Swan Dolphin as well, which I've stayed at both of them now within the last 2 months. And through remodels of the lobby, the rooms for most of them, really nice, nice place to stay. You at least have, to me, a little bit larger room than you have from perhaps a deluxe from Disney. You don't get to use the magic bands. Yep, your parking's extra, so there's a little bit extra cost into it. But you also have some good, restaurants there. And you can walk to Hollywood Studios, walk to Epcot, and you really don't have to, hit the bus transportation. And you also have decent pool there,
right,
to be able to use.
Oh yeah. No, I think those areas are perfect. Like I'll tell you my answer in a few, and you'll see how close that aligns. But so, how about you, Michelle? Where adults only trip? And again, this could either be just, you and John, no kids for the weekend, or maybe it's the four of us and we all leave our kids at home. Like, what do you think is the perfect spot to stay at?
I think before my recent first Swan Dolphin experience, I would have said Boardwalk or Contemporary. But after us just recently staying at Swan Dolphin offsite, I would definitely, I like the fact that you can get to a park, you can get to so many different things. To me, walking and convenience is priority, especially lately with the crowds.
Yeah.
So the fact that we could get to so many different things and be able to walk and not have to take transportation. And I was surprised at how close so many things were. I guess I just never realized it. So offsite, I would absolutely say one of those. And then I would say, Contemporary or...
So how about you, Rhonda? Where are you staying? Adults only trip, no kids. What's perfect?
Well, excuse me, I have not stayed at the monorail loops at all. So where we have stayed.
You really, really should.
Yeah, well, you should make that work.
Okay, my bad. That's right.
But I would say where we have stayed, I would say Animal Kingdom or Wilderness Lodge for sure. Like John said, you stay away from everything else because, there's going to be kids anywhere.
Right,
and they're really good though. I mean,
but they're really going to be at the values, and even the moderates is going to be heavy with kids. And if you're adults only, you obviously don't want kids around.
Well, you don't want them at dinner listening to an iPad that was at full volume.
Well, when we talk about places to eat, we can not mention flying fish. That's fine. But okay, so you're thinking Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge.
If I probably would have an option to stay where I haven't stayed before, absolutely agreeing with Michelle, I would want to stay somewhere like that. I know Polly's on the monorail that we would like to stay
Yeah.
at one point.
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
like Boardwalk, I'm sure we'll talk about this in a little bit when we all went out together that night. But remember
Oh,
the nightlife and
absolutely.
how much fun it
Oh,
was.
it's amazing.
I mean,
Boardwalk.
so and my aunt they stay there, and we've been there before. And just to be able to have a balcony and be able to look out
Oh, yeah.
over, it's just awesome.
And that's what. So my exact pick was Boardwalk
Yeah,
Inn.
absolutely.
Like when we stayed there with y'all. Now we had the kids, but we spent that night. We went to the Maroon 5
Yeah.
concert that we didn't have the kids. And I mean that was the most perfect location ever to me. Now Swan and Dolphin again sounds like it would perfectly align. We haven't done beach or yacht club, but I'm guessing any of those in the Epcot area would be so perfect for adults, especially because your proximity to Epcot specifically and being able to go into the International Gateway. And if there's a festival going on,
Right.
like you can literally bunch of adults walking down into the International Gateway. You're right there inside of the World Showcase, and you've got drinks, food galore.
and you can get back
to me,
without
yeah.
having to worry about transportation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can. Or if you really want to and you get lazy at the end of the night, take the friendship boats that John recommended on my last trip, which were a blast. Like, as weird as it is, boats are fun. I don't know.
It's the closest entrance to a slushie back there, too.
It is. It is the closest one.
That's right.
And what I love when we stayed there with y'all, the one morning, I forget what morning it was, and we had the kids with us at this time, but we woke up and we were going to meet you guys down at the pool, and we put on our bathing suits, we put on our flip-flops, and we just went down to International Gateway because we had a little bit of time to kill, and we walked straight over to Soarin', walked on to Soarin', and then just came back.
And the funnest part was we had to leave our flip-flops because if Soarin' goes up, we had to leave all of our flip-flops on the ground.
That was the funnest part?
Yeah, man.
Did you get to leave flip-flops on the ground?
Well, your feet were
Soaring with
dangling.
soaring with no
With
shoes
no-
on.
It is awesome.
Because there's nothing I like better than riding on Soarin' and looking up and seeing a bunch of people's bare
Right.
feet. Like that is
Looking up
definitely
and
a
seeing the
highlight
bottom of people's feet.
of mine. Yeah. So okay, all right, I got you, Rhonda. So, all right. Well, let's talk next a little bit about the what. What would you do? Like you're at Disney, you have no children anchoring you down. John, what are the things you want to do? And they don't even have to be because you don't have children. Maybe they're just more fun without children. I don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah, but I think, one of the things that I look at is on the rides. We're going to probably do rides that we like, but we never get to sit with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because it's always each of us sitting with one of the kids, at least right now. So that would be one thing. We'd get to sit with each other on some of the rides. But most of ours is going to be around, can we, do we book something with the spa? Do we do most of it around a good meal or something? Or, go somewhere for, cocktails and then go eat dinner somewhere. So I think that's where we end up, for us, we end up booking more around that. Less with the parks, but more with, what's some of the extra things we can do. And as you said early on, taking an afternoon and hanging out by the pool and, relaxing there.
Yeah, not chasing your kids all around. And, I mean, that's, for us, it's every second is, mommy, daddy, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, awesome, you jumped in a pool again.
Right.
Okay, I'd like to sit here and relax. So what types of things would you want to do, Michelle, that maybe you don't normally get to do because the kids are around, or even just something like John mentioned is almost just a little bit different because they're not around?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with John. Our situation at home is we don't really hire a lot of babysitters, if you will, and we don't have the family locals. So just a night out for dinner and drinks we're game.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's our favorite thing to do. And when you go to Disney and Epcot and all the parks and all the restaurants, there's so many different types of food and menus and things to try. And I mean, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So it's like every time we go, we can find something new if we want to try something new. I mean, the options are endless. So.
Oh yeah. So how about you, Rhonda? What are the things that you specifically want to do without kids?
Well, like John said, I agree with when we ride, sitting next to each other. And Michelle, same thing. Just kind of find and just be us and do what we want to do. And
Right. No complaining.
right.
And
that, for one, like you just said, when we walk around, showcase, and
Yeah, especially World Showcase.
But as we talked on an earlier podcast about the finding the, what is that called?
What, the scavenger hunts?
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
Another thing too, not to interrupt you, Rhonda, but another thing too that we haven't talked about is Disney Springs.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they have added so much shopping
Yep.
and so much adult shopping, and gosh
Kids
knows the
do
kids
not
do
wanna be
not
hauled
want
around
to. Yes,
Disney Springs.
exactly. They want to be
And I
where the
understand
toys
that.
are.
Yep.
Right. They don't want to go to all the shops, and there's so many amazing shops
Yeah.
now that are for adults. So. For us, even just going and do some adult shopping without the kids is so nice now because the stores are just amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For me, I think it's all about jelly rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about who's going to watch your kids while you're at Jelly Rolls,
Right.
which is my absolute favorite entertainment spot, I think, in all of Disney. But no, I agree too. It's the rides. Like we when Rhonda and I do our anniversary each year, and we don't bring the kids, we actually get to sit next to each other on a ride that we never do.
Right.
Even if it's as simple as like Haunted Mansion. We never sit next to each other on Haunted Mansion because we're always paired up with a kid. So some of that's good. The other
But we
thing,
do love our kids. We
Oh,
just
of
want to
course,
make
we
sure everybody
really
knows
do.
that we do
We
love our
really
kids.
do.
yes,
we
we do.
absolutely love them.
Absolutely.
I just need one trip a year without them. That's all it is. And the other thing maybe it's just that I love, and this will make me sound bad. I love being at Disney without kids and watching other kids melt down because and this is horrible, but I'm just
And we
sitting
call
there.
it the Disney meltdown.
Yeah, and I'm just literally there. I'm just like,
He's always like, yes.
yes, we don't have kids right now. Our kids aren't melting down. Those kids are.
Yeah.
We're happy. They're not. It's just a little extra magic for me. But so
Which is not right in any means.
no, it's not right. I'm not right.
We were
I think we all
looking.
know that.
We were looking through some memories the other day, and there was a picture of Gavin when he was a baby, and I guess they had put a lay on him at the Polynesian, and he is like screaming, crying in his stroller because God forbid they put a lay on
right.
him.
Yep. And then I would have been the ones without
Right.
the kids
and,
over
yes,
the corner.
there was some adult there going, look at that,
Yep.
look at that,
That's
look
exactly
at that.
what it is.
So you mentioned one thing. So let's talk about different things, though. For adults, you talked about Jelly Rolls being, your favorite. We haven't done it yet, but I think that we ate there. But I think going to Edison after 10 to see that
Yep.
entertainment is definitely something that's going to be up
Yeah,
there.
over at Disney
Yeah.
Springs.
The Hangar Bar,
Yes.
Polynesian,
Yep.
Trader Sam's.
Yeah, Trader Sam's without kids.
Yeah, so I just think most of them have that. Go to Contemporary and sit at the bar at California Grill,
Yeah.
and get a drink where you don't have to worry about the kids. So I think there's plenty of places besides that where you can kind of make a abracadabra bar or abracabar, whatever they call it. To me it was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
But at least you can have a cocktail there before you go eat or do something or go to Jelly Rolls.
Yep.
Before you go drink there, you might as well have a drink somewhere else. But to me, there's plenty of different places to go try. And, the kids went, it'll be nice, before you had La Nuba, right? You had La Nuba before. You could do it with kids, without kids. It didn't really matter. I think when they put the new show in there, because it's going to have that Disney feel, I think it's going to be more geared towards making sure the kids are there.
Yes.
Which, we'll
Yeah.
see how that comes out.
Yeah.
But I think there's plenty of places.
Well, and same thing with Disney Springs. When John and I were just there that Wednesday night, here 2-3 weeks ago, and remember when we walked upon that freestyle rap group, the Free Daps, I wanted to sit. I could have watched them for 8 hours straight. I could have literally watched those dudes forever. It was just amazing to me.
Or what about the time when
But my kids would have not liked that. They would have been
Michelle's
bored.
Oh, the magician.
and
yeah.
her phone? That was amazing.
On Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think you're right though. There's certain things that while they might be geared towards adults and kids, some of them I think you could enjoy longer as an adult because kids will get a little bit worn out or they might get bored. So let's wrap up and talk about.
Well, the only other thing I was going to say is we're talking about that, but during the daytime, let's not forget some of the resorts have spas, but also there's lots of tours, and there's a lot of tours that you have to be 16 or 18
Keys to the
be
Kingdom
able to
is
do.
one of our favorites.
And so I think that's something to be able to do as well. Look at some of those.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different things of, DVC has painting with a twist type thing
Right.
up at the top of
Yep.
the Bay Lake Towers. There's different types of mixology classes, so there's a lot of different things.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even when we did the DVC lounge with you guys, well, it's perfect to end the night with the kids and overlooking at the fireworks. Like, to do that as adults only, I think would be a completely different experience.
Right.
Like to understand that. So, all right, so we're talking about going to Disney, which is nothing but princesses and fairy tales. Everybody thinks. Why would you go to Disney without your children? Other than everything we just said, which is awesome. What
Because you can?
specifically? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look, and there's so many different places. And so, I mean, Michelle and I, we travel a lot, and there's a lot of places we like to go to. So, for us, part of it is being in that atmosphere, but also it being close.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
we like going, I like going to big cities. So, I'd like to do New York and Chicago, and I do Vegas and stuff like that. So, that stuff I like. Michelle likes the beach, so, whenever we can plan it and get to Aruba or something, she likes that. But for me, it's different for us because it's 2 hours away. So I think if you're within that close proximity to maybe 6 to 8 hours away, everything's all encompassing. You don't have to go and plan a ton of different things.
Right.
Fly there, take an Uber, do whatever, or drive there, leave the car, and you never have to see a car again until you're done.
Yep.
And know that everything is within that contained bubble, right?
Yeah.
I know there's not going to be a panhandler asking me for something as I'm walking past, Boardwalk or
Right.
the Yacht and
True.
Beach.
Yeah.
Where
Very true.
I'm going to deal with that in the major cities. So, I'm not going to worry about the person on the subway or the train who knows what they're doing versus just being on the monorail.
Right.
So I think you're at least within a safer atmosphere.
Yeah. Unless the monorail doors open.
Unless the monorail door is open while you're going.
Yeah.
Which, that would have been an interesting ride.
That would
the
have
video was
been fun.
but
Yeah.
would have been good.
No, I agree. I mean, it is definitely safer. We almost did get in a fist fight one night when we were there, Rhonda and I, in Epcot, waiting for Anna and Elsa. When Rhonda accidentally dropped the F-bomb in front of a family. But normally...
I whispered it
Normally...
to my husband.
Yeah. Normally it is much safer. I agree with that. So why would you go to Disney without kids, Michelle?
To me, you spend every week working, homework, volunteering, taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
For John, traveling. I mean,
Yeah.
we are an adult every single week, no matter if you want to be here or not, dealing with the flu.
Yes. Yeah.
So no matter what, you have your adult weekend, but you can throw your Mickey ears on. You can throw on your obnoxious Disney shirt.
Yeah.
You can go ride the teacups, which I don't ride those, but you can. You can go ride whatever ride you want. You can be a kid at heart if you want to be a kid at heart, and you can go and have a drink at the bar if you want to go have a drink at the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever
That's awesome.
you are ready for. So throw your ears on and go have a great time, and then go to have a fancy dinner with your spouse and
Right.
a romantic evening, or
Yeah.
go to the spa.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's everything you want without the kids.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what we've proved as we're talking is it's not just princesses and
That's
fairy
right.
tales and Mickey Mouse. It is an adult place if you really want
Absolutely.
it to be. So what about you, Rhonda? What do you
Well,
thinking?
Michelle just gave me chills.
That was
because
awesome. Yeah, that was a great answer. I don't want to
that
answer now.
was I can't follow that. I can just say that yes, I am a
Ditto.
giant kid at heart, and without kids,
Not really giant.
absolutely.
Yeah, she's
You're just
definitely a little.
You're just a tiny little kid at heart.
I have been mistaken for a child before, so
Yeah,
yes.
Jeremy's
but
been mistaken for my son. So.
that's true. That is true.
That is true. But yeah, Michelle just hit that nail on the head. I don't want to follow it.
No, I think it was.
so-
I think saying being a kid at heart was absolutely perfect. I got nothing else to add to that. That was awesome, Michelle. Like, that's the way that we can treat Disney as adults, is just knowing that this is a time to get away, to be yourself, to do whatever you want. And well, the funny thing is, so again, going back to us going every year for our anniversary, I remember a friend of ours had asked me one time, like, what are you guys doing for your anniversary? I was like, we're going to Disney without the kids. And he's like, why? like, why wouldn't you like go somewhere else? And I'm like, well, I was thinking about taking Rhonda to Morocco and Mexico and Paris and the UK.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do all that in one weekend. I got to drive 2 hours. That's why we're going to Disney by ourselves without kids as adults. So I think, yeah. And is there anything else you guys want to add about your adults only trip? Okay, let's say this. If you could, who would you pick to go with? Obviously us, but
Hopefully.
do you want to do an adults only trip with just the two of you, or do you want to do it as a group with lots of friends? Let's just say again, we have a great close knit group of friends in this community in our neighborhood that we live in here. Like, we're very fortunate for that. Is it something that you want to do with everyone, or do you really want to make it about the two of you? Which again, I can totally understand.
I think when it's adults only, it's different than when you're with your families and the kids. It is very hard to go to Disney with 3, 4, 5 couples and all the kids and keep everybody happy. Somebody's always got a snack. Somebody's always, got to use the bathroom, this. They want this to eat. It's just,
Yeah, it's a lot.
But as far as adults go, I mean, whatever. You go, you can have a night away and then go out with your friends the next night. And I mean, we're sociable. We love being with our friends. So, I mean, we wouldn't care either way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us. Aren't we doing a race on...
We
Aren't we all going with y'all for your
going-
anniversary and doing a race?
Absolutely.
We're so excited.
So excited
We're
for
doing
that.
So,
we're
I mean,
doing
it's
the
just one
Dark
of those
Side 5K
things,
in April. So that'll be amazing. Yep. Well, this has been fun. I like this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and close out this episode. Michelle's having fun. We're gonna close out this episode, and we're gonna go ahead. And the very next episode you're gonna hear is gonna be a Disney date night. And if you think that sounds exactly like what we just talked about, it's not. There's going to be a little bit different. So make sure you check back for the very next episode. As always, make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com. Go ahead and check us out on social, both Facebook and Twitter, Main ST Magic. Join the conversation. We're starting to really pick up there. If you have any ideas for future topics, go ahead and let us know out on social media. And that's all I got for now. We'll see you real soon.